Hey everybody, Why Invest Wednesday. Hope you're doing well. We keep it going even on holiday weeks, I guess, these days. So today we're going to talk a little bit about forbearance, some actual numbers to go with everything we've been talking about, right back to where we were in March, talking about forbearance. And then we'll talk a little bit about affordability and why people are focused on maybe the wrong statistic for that. And then we will dive into just some Merry Christmas wishes and wrap up pretty quickly here. So as always, YouTube, Facebook, like, comment, share, subscribe on YouTube. Would love to hear your comments and see your comments as they help me out. Definitely. I'm coming to you live today from the parking lot of my 45th closing of the year. So that's pretty exciting, far and above some of the goals that I did set for myself early on in this year. Well, actually in late 2019. So today let's get into forbearance. We got some numbers. Actually, I have a screen share here that I will show you guys. Let's see here. It pops up. All right. So we're going to start here and talk a little bit about forbearance by the numbers. Let me get that out of the way. So nationally, our forbearance rate is about 5.8%. Of those, you see the breakdown here on the screen. About 15.1% are actually in trouble. And we'll kind of dive into this pie chart a little deeper here using some specific numbers to the front range as we go. So let's go to the next screen here. As you can see, 5.8% are even close to forbearance. Some are out of it. Some have made rearrangements. Some have done that. So let's go to the next screen here as we go. I'll get that out of the way. So this is 11 county Colorado Front Range area. So the major counties that you and I hear about often on the Front Range: Denver, Northern Colorado, and a little bit of Colorado Springs as well. We had to start somewhere. So we went to the Census Bureau. All this information is actually courtesy of Nicole Ruth, or MBA. So let's check it out. 1.24 homes approximately, with 63% of those having mortgages. So that means you can't be in forbearance if you don't have a mortgage, if you own your home outright. So that being said, 780,910 homes with mortgages. And I know on Instagram you can't see this statistic. We'll put the screen share up a little bit later. But 780,910 homes with mortgages are eligible for forbearance. Okay, as we go to the next screen here, we show you that of those with the 5.58 national forbearance rate, that means that 43,574 homes in Colorado are in forbearance, obviously using the national average based on the amount of homes with mortgages in the Front Range. So only 43,574 homes. One is too many, absolutely. But here we are. So of those homes in forbearance, if you break them down with those national numbers, from 23,400 will pay that off in full. That means they're going to refinance, they're going to sell their home or just pay it off due to time. This is going to allow the forbearance to be over, obviously avoid foreclosure. And this is something that I really want to focus on here, is even if you are in trouble and you are going into foreclosure eventually, a forbearance, if the payment goes too high or something happens there where you can't restructure your loan, which the loan companies are required to allow you to restructure. But obviously if you don't have, if employment is an issue or something like that, and you're feeling like forbearance is, obviously the time's ticking on that, you have to make a decision. Then you have foreclosure. Foreclosure is at least a 6-month process. So there is time. And if you are in this group and you're having issues, please, please, please don't give all the equity that you have earned back to the bank. Most of us have equity in our homes. There is a small percentage that doesn't. We'll talk about them later. And then 13,595 will work it out, get on a payment plan, restructure their loan, or something along those lines, add the payment to the end or add a little bit on to each payment to get caught up. Because forbearance is not the avoidance of a payment. It is just delaying what you owe. And obviously you'd pay interest on that as it goes. So of that, 43,574, we have 5,138 that are in trouble and could eventually become foreclosures if we don't have some sort of restructure. You can restructure a loan there. Short sale is an option. So that's kind of the people that are upside down, maybe had 100%, down payment assistance and things got bad right away. And they haven't had the chance to gain that equity. Maybe they refinanced more than you probably should have and took some equity out and had those high loan values. That's 5,000 in the whole 11 county Colorado Front Range. Of some of those, some will actually become foreclosures. But if there's any way to not have it become a foreclosure, don't leave money on the table. Talk to your financing, lender, talk to your realtor. Maybe we can get something figured out. So, 5,000 homes in the whole 11 county area is not very many that are actually in trouble of foreclosure. So as we head back out of this screen here, we'll go back and talk a little bit about just affordability in general. Basically, the reason that these two things are the subject today is everyone says, oh, foreclosures are coming. I get that question every single day, and I have always, but now it seems like it's more and more because that's kind of what the narrative is on the national news and things like that. So as we talk about that a little bit more, we only have 5,000 more homes coming on. If all of those homes in trouble actually go to foreclosure, that's not going to solve our inventory issue. As we've reported here, we need like 20 to 30,000 homes to come on the market to even get to a balanced market. So that's not going to solve the inventory issue. The next thing as well, affordability, people are going to quit buying homes. So that's, once prices go so high, then there will be less buyers in the market. Well, I'm here to tell you that, again, like I've said before on this same show, is that affordability, we always pay attention to those home prices. Everyone talks about, oh, homes are too expensive, the home prices are too much. There was a study done recently, you may have seen it on TV, where they did a 10-year average and the homes have increased in value 97% from 2010 to 2020. And so if they took that same number and made it from 2020 to 2030, which probably won't happen, the average home price in the nation would be like, I don't even know, I have it written down here. Let me try and find it here. It's something ridiculous, like $763,000. And that taken down in Denver, if we just go back to the average appreciation, the 6% range, and then maybe took it over 20 years instead of just 10, then that would mean that in Denver, the average home price can be $928,000 in 2030. And so that's a big deal. And that sounds like a big number, but even with those numbers, obviously we probably won't appreciate at that level for the next 10 years. We've seen all kinds of ups and downs, right, coming off the crash in 08, starting 2010, that's when prices really started to rebound. So the home affordability is, let's not pay attention to home prices as much as we do. The point you need to make or think about is that affordability, the biggest factor is going to be, one, your interest rates, we're at record lows. As those tick up, it absolutely will be less affordable to buy homes, because with our appreciation, it could go up 100,000 like it has. The home prices have gone up, 70,000, the average home price, $70,000 in the last year. And homes are actually more affordable because the interest rates are 1.25 points lower than it was a year ago today. So the homes are being made affordable by the low interest rate. Another thing you need to keep an eye on is property insurance values, especially here in Colorado. We've had a rough, wildfire season. That's going to affect our insurance rates. So those things will go up. We also had that, election issue where we voted to allow property taxes to raise. That's also going to play a small role. So keep an eye on that as a backdoor to kind of affect affordability. But if the interest rates stay low, ultimately we're gonna be okay, because the interest rates are really the thing that's holding down affordability while the prices are going up and rates are going up on insurance and all this stuff. The interest rate being low, which according to my sources, Powell and Yellen, are going to try and keep that low regardless of inflation and all that stuff. And we'll see how that plays out. But as the interest rate continues to tick up, that's when we may see major affordability issues as well. People aren't going to move, like we've talked about, kind of that rate lock thing. So that's all said. It is what it is. Home prices are going to continue to go up. So if, why wait until interest rates are a quarter point or a half point higher? If you're thinking about buying right now, you have an option to get out of a lease. Do it today so that you can take advantage of the affordability and you're not stuck in that issue. Say you wait a year or two, then you're stuck in the affordability conundrum, and now you're looking at houses not in places you want to live, and maybe that are a little less expensive, because we all know that our salaries are not going to appreciate at the same rate that our homes do, especially over this next spring when things are pretty much certain to be super hot and super competitive, which will just drive home prices up. Not to mention the other things coming with the new administration of home buyers, having a couple more incentives to get into homes. So with that said, 2020, we've been talking about this stuff. Now we actually have numbers to go with it. But just want to reach out and wish you all the merriest of Christmases. I know I'm looking forward to turning off social media, turning off my phone for a couple of days, and just spending time with my family. I appreciate all of you. 2020 has been a record year for me, which I am forever grateful to all of you. I know that that's not the case across the board in some of our lives, but just want to wish you the merriest of Christmas. I hope you have a restful, week/weekend, and into the new year, where 2021, obviously people are going to be looking for a fresh start. We got the vaccine coming on, hopefully getting back to some of the things we love to do in public and things like that. But I love y'all. Hope you have a Merry Christmas, and we'll leave you with that. Cheers.